It is Friday, September 13th, Friday the 13th. And today I'm just wondering about two different topics. The first of which is, what's the Cowboys' opponent this week, the New Orleans Saints, look like?
And now, a word from our title sponsor.
Are all financial advisors fiduciaries? Fewer than you think. Not knowing could reduce your lifestyle. Hi, I'm Mitch Kramer, founder and CEO of Fluent Financial. A fiduciary is a regulatory term to reduce conflicts of interest in wealth management. A fiduciary always works in your best interest. A non-fiduciary advisor might put their compensation or company ahead of yours. At Fluent Financial, we are certified financial planners acting as fiduciary advisors. To learn more, go to fluentfinancial.com or Fluent Financial's YouTube channel.
In 1993, Bob opened the original Bob's Steak and Chop House on Lemon Avenue. 32 years later, the original Bob still greets you at the original Bob's. And now his sparkling new Bob's at Craig Ranch has opened in McKinney. Same fantastic beef and fresh seafood at these two Bob's, each run by the Bob's Steak and Chop House. Crest is again proud to sponsor the McKinney Police Association Golf Tournament and Car Raffle, October 24th at TPC Craig Ranch in McKinney. Sign up and purchase a raffle ticket for the opportunity to win a brand new Crest Cadillac CT4. It's easy. You go to crestcares.com. You don't even have to live in McKinney to win. Grab yourself a raffle ticket, sign up at crestcares.com, perhaps win that new vehicle, and do support the McKinney Police Association. You know, we all remember that incredibly fun, raucous crowd in New Orleans. Sean Payton is the head coach. Drew Brees is the quarterback. Who dat? Gonna beat them Saints. Who dat? Well, things have changed for the Who Dat Nation. Brees is gone and headed to the Hall of Fame. Sean Payton's now coaching in Denver. And Saints fans are certifiably depressed. The Athletic has what they call the Hopometer survey. And Saints fans are the least optimistic in the country entering this season. They were widely picked to win the division last year, but they had to win 4 of their final games to get over 500, and they didn't make the playoffs. Their salary cap situation in the offseason, if you can believe it, was even tighter than the Cowboys. And it resulted in them saying goodbye to longtime Saints stars like offensive lineman Andrus Peat and wide receiver Michael Thomas. Now, they were able to keep safety Tyrann Mathieu, and they did sign a couple of free agents, one of which, defensive end Chase Young, has been an enormous disappointment in the NFL since being the number 1 pick in the draft, and they added veteran linebacker Willie Gay. But New Orleans needed a good draft, and it appears they got that. But you can only have so much impact with a draft on a team that's been mediocre the last couple of years. This will be the 3rd year for head coach Dennis Allen, who's 16-18 coming into the season with the Saints. In fact, in Allen's career head coaching the Raiders and the Saints, his teams are you ready for this? 24-46. 24-46. Lord in heaven, how does this man have a job? And if Allen's going to survive this season, his teams have got to start better than in his first 2 years. In his first year, the Saints started 3-10. And last year they started 5-8. But maybe the Saints have found a little something. They opened the season by dismantling Carolina. Now, Carolina may be a pig, you understand. But at least the Saints took them apart. Derek Carr, the Saints quarterback, was the second most efficient quarterback in the league last week. And he's coming off what you might consider his best year ever in the NFL. He threw for 3,900 yards last year with 25 touchdowns and just 8 interceptions. Now, it's hard to grade NFL teams off one game. And this Saints team is pretty weird when you look at them. Now, last year, look at the Saints' numbers. They were 9th in the league in scoring points. That's good. They were 8th in the league in allowing the fewest points. That's good. So, how does that get them only a 9-8 record against what was considered a pretty weak schedule? The Cowboys stuffed a very limited and hurting Cleveland offense last week. And they face a better offense this week, though maybe not much better, though you can't be worse than Deshaun Watson was last week for the Browns. The Cowboys are a 6-point favorite, and it's important to win games like this. The next 5 teams on the schedule include Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Detroit, and San Francisco. Yo, this thing's toughened up in a hurry. But Dallas is the better team. They're home. It's the kind of game that if you were to lose, it can echo with regret throughout a season. Next, what will the NFL look like 20 years down the road? Harry and I are star power people. I know what some of you might be thinking. Oh, they must get a bunch of free stuff. Absolutely not. We love Star Power because of the quality of their products and their remarkable service. Oh, you can buy electronics somewhere off a shelf and take it home and try to install it yourself or ask somebody to help you. But what if something goes wrong? Or what if it isn't quite right for you? That's where Star Power service stars. And that's why we're Star Power people. So, I was just wondering, what might the NFL look like in 2044? It might look very different. Commissioner Roger Goodell wants the league to start playing 16 international games every season. Just a couple of years ago, we were playing 1 or 2 games internationally. The last 2 years, the NFL has played 5 regular season games internationally. By the way, I was at the very first ever international game when the Cowboys played the Bears in 1986 at storied Wembley Stadium in London. Playing games, exhibition, or regular season is the stepping stones to putting franchises in some of those cities. The NFL is planting the seeds of NFL interest. Over the years, the NFL has played exhibition games in 8 countries. By the way, 39 of them in London. And besides the regulars, England, Mexico, Canada, the NFL has played exhibition games in Germany, Spain, Ireland, Japan, Australia, and they just played a regular season game in Brazil. I believe it may well be the NFL's aim to be the globe's sport. Now, soccer had very much hoped to do that, but I'm not sure soccer is taking deep roots in this country. I simply can't see soccer passing any of the big 4 sports in interest in this country. But let's flip that coin over. Can the NFL establish hotbeds of interest in those soccer-crazy countries? I've got to think, though, that's part of the overall plan. In the regular season, they've played games in London, Barcelona, Berlin, not yet Paris, but Mexico City, Tokyo. Those could all be potential cities for NFL teams. The league now has 32 teams playing 17 games. And very soon, they're going to go to 18 games in a regular season. I can see someday the NFL adding 4 more franchises on North America, Mexico City, perhaps 1 in Canada, and maybe 2 more cities in the United States, and maybe 4 cities overseas. Eventually, I can see 40 teams in the NFL playing 18 games a season. The NFC and AFC would each have 4 5-team divisions. And I can see 8 teams making it from the AFC and 8 from the NFC in the new structure. I can even see sports-hungry, filthy, rich Saudi Arabia getting a game maybe every year, because Saudi Arabia is creeping into almost every sport on the globe. You know that in the conference rooms of the NFL on Park Avenue in New York, they are talking about the very distant future and what the league could look like and what it would like to look like. A future where the league is this globe's sport, I think, is in the NFL picture. TV 5 days a week and at all sorts of different time slots. Huge international TV partners and sponsors and enormous money. Hey, it's the NFL. It's always going to be enormous money.
Today's episode brought to you by Fluent Financial, Retire Sooner, Better Lifestyle. And by Crest Cars. There's good, there's better, and then there's Crest. By Star Power, love where you live. And by Bob's Steak and Chop House.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of Just Wondering with Norm Hitzges. If you enjoyed what you heard, please hit follow, and a fresh new episode will be delivered to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you know someone who might enjoy our work, please share it with them. I'm Norm Hitzges, and I'm always just wondering about something.
And I'm Mary Hitchkus, and I'm just wondering too.